It is true that education is a key to success, a gateway to knowledge accumulation. It is true that knowledge of what is does not open the door directly to what should be. Then why is our institution a platform of success and not a true test of one's ability? Could it be the fault of the students, or could it be the fault of the teachers? Who speaks the truth, the students or the teachers? A case study of a school of communication located in Lagos, Nigeria. Lagos State University ADEGUNWA School of Communication. Students of the school have revealed that the school have several equipments which would aid and enhance their learning processes, but have less access to the equipments. While some say they have no access, some accuse others of being too lazy and not wanting to use the equipment at all. Who do we blame? The teachers or the students? The Communication Students Association President Ibrahim Fatoyinbo also did not deny the fact that students do not have enough access to studio equipment in the school. He stated reasons why this problem has remained stagnant all this while.
Particularly the problem of having equipment and students having access to it is a two-way thing. You know the kind of student we have, and if this equipment are mismanaged or misused, and it's at our own detriment also. So, and the people in the studio has to be very meticulous and very careful. The studio manager was very careful to make sure, because if anything happens to the equipment, he will be held responsible. So that's why they have to be very, very careful. And that's why we have the union body, in which if students need any equipment, they can go through the union, maybe the broadcast president or the welfare president of broadcast, and go and get the equipment, and they are going to give it to them. So far they are using it for a genuine reason. Actually, the rate at which students access the studio or access the equipment is a two-way thing. Oftentimes is when they have assignments, that's when they require for the equipment, and if they are not having an assignment, they don't require for the equipment. So the more assignment they have, the more stampeding we'll be having in the studio. But oftentimes students have been advised to go outside, to go and produce outside, because we have limited equipment which can serve all the old students at the same time. It's obvious. So the students are advised also sometimes to go outside, to go and record with their money outside because of deadline. Because some lecturers will care less that they have equipment. They don't want to know if you 1,000 that want to make it up. Just do the assignment. So it's very important for the student just to go outside, to go and make use of the equipment outside, or go and rent. Oftentimes we have the people that come around and they will paste notice that if student who wants to do their assignment should call them, and they can give them they'll bring their equipment and get the assignment done for them. So limited equipment, and we have more students, so they can't make use of their equipment at the same time. So it is obvious they have to go outside and go and make use of it.
Like he said, limited equipment, more students. Then who's to blame? The staff, the authority of the school, or the students? Let us hear from the leader of the Muslim Student Society of Nigeria, Lagos State University ADEBOLA School of Communication branch. He is Shekoni Musbaudin.
They have not had access from the school management of the school equipment. Well, this is a complaint that is tied to other issues. As we have it in last WhatsApp, the three departments, some of them are filled up with equipment, especially the broadcast department. They have some equipment, but the fact that students don't have access to equipment is not confirmed, even specifically by me, because the equipment, the little equipment we have in the department or in the studio are there to cater for certain practical work to be done by the student.
Then, if the little equipment in the studio are there to cater for certain practical works for the students, then why are there still complaints that they do not have access to these equipments? Could it be that they are indeed lazy? Or could it be that the school authority fears that these equipments could get damaged when in the wrong hand? For this reason, we returned to Sheikh Musbaldin to shed more light on this.
I feel the little equipment we have in the studio should be properly managed, they should be properly guarded. They shouldn't be exposed for just anybody to go there and pick them up. Some of them don't even know how to handle this equipment, they want access to it. So I feel the fact that they are not given the access does not mean the school doesn't want them to use it. If there is appropriate hands to handle such equipment, I believe the school is definitely going to make them available for the students.
Appropriate hands? The students should have these appropriate hands because it is with these their hands that they secure jobs after their university education. We continue with Musbaldin Shekoni as he further explains how this issue or how these complaints from students can be supervised.
The question or the complaint is still about inaccessibility to school equipment. I'm going to ask some few questions. The students themselves, do they have the technical know-how? Can they handle such equipment? If they can handle such equipment, there are a lot of opportunities, there are a lot of authorities that they need to explore for them to have access to such equipment. Have they exhausted the necessary authority? Have you consulted with them? The dean is there, the sub-dean is there, the HOCs are there. Are you complaining to them that you have access to it and the studio manager is not giving you access to it? So you yourself, you have to know how to handle such equipment.
In other words, these students must have basic understanding on how to use and manage the studio equipment. The studio manager, in person of Mr. Clement, revealed to us that the school possesses several equipments but have some very sensitive and expensive equipments. But because some of these equipments are very expensive, the school can only afford very few of them. He said that they have derived another method in which students can get to use these expensive and sensitive equipments. Could this option or method be of use or be of help to these students?
It's always obvious that the number of students we have compared to equipment is the ratio is not that even. This is what I mean. We have equipments that most of the time, we have big equipments, expensive equipments, and because of how expensive those equipments are and because of their sensitivity, we have probably just one or two of them. And considering a large number of students using such equipment, there will be a problem of who will come first, who will use it, and who will be given access to it per time. So because of that, we devised a method of getting students to book for equipment, or probably if they are to use studio, we ask them to put down their names, and as soon as they do that, we get down to the list and we call them by their numbers and they come in. By that, we'll be able to effectively manage the equipment to students.
Education, we say, is mandatory as we learn every day. Lamentations of students on use of school equipment has convinced the authority of the school to derive a better method for equipment management. This equipment is theirs to use as it is the will of the school to see their students soar high in the outside world. The school helps to record loads of achievements by producing the best directors, best producers, best studio technical staffs. Lagos State University ADEGUNWA School of Communication has suffered no form of deficiencies at all. The students have everything right on their hands. That is to say that the students have the chisel and the hammer. It is then left for them to shape their destiny. Who speaks the truth, these students or these staffs?